Good morning, babies. Hi, how are you? Hi. Hello there. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Remember, this is a timeless message, so whenever you find it, it's the right time. Any day, any day. All right, this is a general message, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Let's get into it, babies. Let's get into it. Yes. So, I'm definitely getting divine masculine vibes, so we're just gonna go into it. Obviously, always take what resonates, leave the rest, and it may resonate for anyone, but I'm definitely getting divine masculine vibes from this. The song I got on shuffle is Invincible by Tool. So let's get into it. I love this song so much. Like, I had to, I'm later than I want to be because I have work still, but I'm later than I want to be because I love listening to this song like all the way through. And it's a 12-minute song. It's a long song. If anyone's a Tool fan, they got long songs. It's worth every second, okay? I wish the song was longer. I would live in it. It's like a good book, when you don't want it to end, but it does. You're like, ah, damn, that was a good feeling. Oh yes. Longing tooth and soul, longing for another win. Lurch into the fray, weapon out and belly in. Warrior, struggling to remain consequential. Bellow out loud, bold and proud of where I've been. But here I am, beating chest and drums, beating tired bones again. Age-old battle mine, weapon out and belly in. Tales told of battles won, of things we've done. Caligula would grin. Beating tired bones, tripping through remember when. Once invincible, now the armor's wearing thin. Heavy shield down. Okay, that's the part I wanted to get to. That it's interesting, before this song came on, I was like, I feel like I need to not wear a shirt. Like, it needs to, I don't know. And then I just go with it. I just do it. And then the song came on shuffle, and I was like, oh, that's why. It's a vulnerability, putting your shield down, not covering your heart. Now the armor's wearing thin. You've been, battling people, like, isolated, always had this, like, chip on your shoulder of, like, well, everyone's against me anyway, so what's the point? Like, why should I always need to be on guard and, like, stand out. And tripping through remember when is like remembering, like, all the times that people have come against you and all of that, and so you were always in like warrior mode. Beating tired bones, there's something that's not working with that anymore. Like, yes, you're still a warrior, yes, you're still able to be strong and defend, but something needs to shift with how, like, I'm seeing it as, like, I've used this reference before in my video before, but it's coming to me again. It's like people that lived in Germany during, like, World War II or something, and there was, like, all these bombings going on constantly. You're just in battle constantly. There's no lowering of your nervous system, or, you know, you're always in that fight mode. You know, even when you're sleeping, you're still like ready to pounce, or, you know, like, oh, we have to escape or whatever. There's always some like ready to run, ready to defend, ready to pounce, because you're always in it. But with that, you might be creating your own battle by thinking and remembering age-old battle, mine, weapon out and belly in. Always, like, you're creating that battle by thinking about it constantly, reminding yourself of, like, remember when that happened, like, these people did this to me. Tales told of battles won, of things we've done, Caligula would grin. And, you know, maybe there had been times where, I'm gonna call it like I sees it, okay? Just so you know. Maybe we have been a little too defensive to people and hurt the wrong people, like because we're pushing them away to protect ourselves. When in fact there needed to be some changes that needed to happen. And maybe clinging to that, oh, well, I'm a warrior, I always win, I always am ready for battle. Like, and that's a mindset. That's not like you're physically fighting people. But that mentality is keeping you in this wartime energy of like defending yourself against everyone, not letting anyone in, because you've had to fight off and you've won. You caught on that people weren't good, so you thought. And now, you know, you're proud. You're like, yeah, I protected myself from that. That could have been a disaster. But what if that wasn't? What if you had hurt people in the past? And pushed them away because of wounding? So there needs to be a look at that. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. I'm just saying. But with that, Caligula would grin, you know, of things we've done, tales told of battles won, of things we've done, Caligula would grin. You know, you're like, yeah, I've pushed people aside, I've done this, I've done that. Here, let me look old boy up. I know he's a Roman emperor, okay. Oh yeah. I don't really feel anything relevant, but what I'm getting is like the Roman emperor. Oh shit, okay. I knew it was like him being like a tyrant kind of thing, but here we go. Caligula is most known for his cruelty and madness, which he exhibited through the harsh taxes he levied on his citizens, the execution of senators whom he deemed untrustworthy, and other violent and excessive behaviors. Yo, okay. I just intuitively knew that. I did not know about homie, but I just assumed. Fuck yeah. All right, so going back to what I said, like, really? Like, you're proud of pushing people away? Like, yeah, I pushed that person away. I cut them out. Damn. I am calling myself out right now. Just so you know. No one's safe. Tales told of battles won, of things we've done, Caligula would grin. Oof. Damn, I'm getting called out right now. Okay. All right. Back into channeling. Yes. So being proud of pushing these people away and like be like, yeah, I avoided that. Like, I caught on to their bullshit and all of that. Like, maybe you were acting out of a wounding instead of them actually being bad, awful people. Yeah, there are some, but when you experience that early, you experience a lot of that where people come up against you or don't have your best interest, they use you, all of that. It's, your brain wants to create patterns to keep you safe, your ego does. So you create patterns of like, okay, so that's what fucking people do. That's what people do. They hurt you, you can't trust them. So you got to keep a lookout when you meet somebody because you can't trust them. Weapon out and belly in. Put your weapon up because you can't trust these people. And that's just what I'm getting is like tales told about battles won of things we've done. Like you're proud, which yes, if people did you dirty, absolutely. Like, you were able to come out of that, but that should be the story versus, oh, I've kept people away. Oh, I've pushed them away because they were being bad. And okay, to clarify, I am not telling you to go back to anyone from your past, but coming into the new world, into these new timelines, changing vibrations, rising higher, jumping into these amazing timelines, don't bring that baggage with you where you think, oh, well, I need to remember beating tired bones, tripping through, remember when. You don't really need to like think and brood on those things that people have hurt you. Coming into these new connections, timelines where, because you are doing the work, you are raising in vibration, you don't bring that old war stories with you. Yes, you can be proud that you've overcome these awful things that people have done to you, groups coming up against you. You could be proud that you overcame that, but don't be proud that you can just and stay in that like excuse me, holding your shield up to people because you're assuming every single person's out to get you, or you can't trust them, or that they need to prove themselves, because that's bringing a lower vibration, a wounding into this connection when it needs to be shifted and transmuted and looked at differently. That in fact, like you can have great, honest connections, friends, family, love, whatever, work, whatever, however you want to take it. You can have that without this worrying that, and keeping the shield up and being secretive, making them dance for you so they prove that they're good people. Bringing that in is just going to lower your vibration, and it's going to shift that that relationship, that could be that connection, that could be great and honest and loving, however you want to take it, just pure. It's going to shift that into a lower vibration, and they're going to be like, well, fuck, then maybe I should either back away or ghost or, match energy and be like, well, you dance for me then. So then it turns into a fight of like, okay, well, you want to make me do something, then I'll make you do something. So it turns back into a battle. You're still in that battle mode in your mind. You're still living that, like every single person you're running into is like that something to come out, somebody that's going to be out to get you, or, they need to prove themselves because you've experienced so much. Once invincible, now the armor's wearing thin, heavy shield down, warrior struggling to remain relevant. Warrior struggling to remain consequential. Cry out loud, bold and proud. Oh, where I've been, but here I am, where I end. Yes, so like it doesn't, yes, you've been there. You've been through it, you've experienced it, but this is where it ends. This is, you don't have to live in that, you know, the warrior struggling to remain consequential, to remain relevant. Yes, you can still battle, but you don't need to. You can put the armor down. In fact, your armor, once invincible, now the armor's wearing thin, heavy shield down. It's getting beat up because you've had it up for so long. It's not meant to be constantly in battle. Cry out loud, bold and proud. Oh, where I've been, but here I am, where I end. So this, I'm not saying this warrior part of you needs to die, but it doesn't need to be out all the time. It doesn't need to, you don't have to exercise it so much to where, especially for these connections, you don't have to exercise that. You don't have to use it all the time. Oops. And I accidentally like clicked out of the screen and it went to my desktop, and I have like a rotating pictures of just like whatever Apple gives me, you know, so it rotates all the time. And it was of zebras. So there's the light and the dark. The light and the dark is within you. So that warrior and that lover is within you. That warrior and healer is within you. You're able to use and exercise both parts of you. You aren't all black. You aren't all white. You have many facets. You have many parts of yourself, moving parts. You can use all of them. It doesn't have to constantly be in this energy of warrior mode, like keeping that shield up, protecting your heart when vulnerability is going to serve you. And if you, what I'm getting from this song also is like, if you don't, something's going to put your ass to where you know, the universe is all, especially with you doing the work, the universe is still going to keep putting you in situations like placing maybe a person that you love deeply, but you hold this shield up. That person's going to beat the fuck out of your shield. They're going to beat the shit out of it. Once invincible, now the armor's wearing thin, heavy shield down. So if you don't decide to put it down and, you know, expose your belly, weapon out and belly in, expose your belly like I'm doing, like I just, for some reason, I'm just listening to my intuition, baby. It's on fleek. You know, like I expose my belly, exposing your belly, exposing your heart. And if you don't, something's gonna happen that's gonna blow that shield all the way the fuck up. This person that comes into your life, you know, especially if you're doing all the other work besides this, you're gonna manifest a person that you can't deny what it is for you. Or, you know, they're so pure and perfect just to place, you know, I'm seeing like a crack in your armor, and just how they're able to start like getting in there and opening it up. Or, you know, you're faced with an injury to where like you can't be, you know, physical, mental, whatever, you're faced with an injury to where, and I almost said energy, so we'll get into that maybe. You're faced with, oh, okay, so you might be faced with an energy, like, you know, just a certain type of energy signature of a group of people that come into your life that are meant to like show you, like, you can, like, I'm seeing it as like they try to include you in a group because they're just, you know, they're all like good-hearted people and they want to be involved in everybody's lives. They help each other. They do all these wonderful things. They listen. They they just have good intentions, and they're in a group and they try to include you, but you have this like warrior of like shield up, so you always stay on the outskirts, on the outside. You never truly let yourself be in. And so you're always watching this wonderful group interact with each other while you're on the outside. And you, depending on where you're at with your ego, you're thinking, oh, well, why won't they include me? When in fact, it's you. They are trying to include you. They are trying to get you in and show you, like, you know, just, they just want you. They think you're great. They want you in their group, their connection. But your ego and your wounding, your shield, you know, I'm seeing it as someone holding up a shield, like you can't see all the way around it, you know, like for however you're holding it up too high, you can't see the fact that the whole picture, because you're standing behind your shield. So you can't see that these people genuinely just want you around. They think you're wonderful. And you're creating this conflict, this outsider mentality, this distance, when it's not necessary. The shield doesn't need to be up with these people. And once invincible, now the armor's wearing thin, heavy shield down. That's also asking you to, yes, you might be very intuitive in everything else, but when it comes to this, you've just been so wounded and hurt so many times that you always keep this shield up and you block your intuition when it comes to this. You just think that everyone's out to get you. Everyone hurts because that you had lived it. You have lived a situation where everyone was out to get you. Everyone made you feel like an outsider. You know, growing up, that's probably a good example. You were weird, you were different, some people didn't like that you were yourself and they isolated you. You know, maybe that was your family and they didn't like it. You were different. They tried to just control you by you know, putting you outside, putting, you know, like, you're only allowed in our group and to be around us if you act in this way. Anything else, you're not allowed to. So you learned, like, because you didn't want to be fake, or, you know, you had a very strong sense of self. You learned, okay, being pushed away, that's just what people do because I have a strong center. Which you're a good warrior. A warrior needs to know themselves. They can't be swayed by anything else. And that's good. But warriors can still get wounded. So you're wounded by these, you know, being pushed and isolated, you know, cold parents, only, you know, showing affection, love, camaraderie, if you acted in a very specific way and which went against who you were as a person when you had, I'm guessing you had a very strong sense of self from childhood, from that age. So you've always known who you are. So you're like, well, fuck, okay, people don't like me, then I'm going to stay away. I'm going to keep them at a distance because I don't want to be hurt anymore. And I'd rather be myself than have these people try to make me be something I'm not and, you know, be hurtful and mean and all of this. So that's good that you have this strong sense of self and you are able to put up that boundary, that shield to people that hurt you, but you've kept it up for everyone, not just the baddies, the bad people. It's, you know, the villains, you know, the people you had to actually fight in battle against. You keep it up for everyone. So all these wonderful people are around you that they're like, damn, I want to be around this person. I want you in my group. You keep them at a distance. You may still interact with them, but there's never this true vulnerability. Belly out. You don't put your belly out. You don't expose your heart. You don't let them in. You just keep them at a distance, the shield up, so you can't see the full picture. You can't see that they genuinely want you around. And it's because of that wounding. So once invincible, now the armor's wearing thin. Beating tired bones, tripping through, remember when... Yeah, you're like tired of this. You're actually like wore out from this, but you don't know it because you don't realize that there are actually good people around you that want good things for you. They want you in their connections. They want good things. It's not just meanies, bad people, you know, it's not everyone is out to control you, manipulate you, all of this. There's actually good people around you in these circles, or just your community, and the Most High, universe, whatever you believe in, your spirit team, they're placing these people around you to be like, hey, you know, how about that one, you know, and just, where you at? Where you at with this? Are you still pushing people away? Because you have great discernment. You have that strong sense of self. You have incredible discernment. Yet you're choosing to not exercise that intuition because of that shield. You have your intuition that's very strong. Everything else, except for when it comes to this, you have that like, what do you want? Why are you doing this? Or it may not be conscious, but you just subconsciously put that shield up. Don't expose anything about yourself. Don't put your belly out. Don't expose your heart to anyone. You always have this distance. You know, I'm just seeing like, again, a group of people, you know, they've created like this horseshoe shape for you. Like I'm seeing people standing in a circle. They've created a horseshoe shape for you. And here you stand at the opening of the horseshoe, and yet you still have this distance. You refuse to get into the chain and connect with them, because I'm seeing them like holding hands, and you still choose not to hold their hands. You choose not to be connected. You know, yes, you're standing there, but you're still distanced. You still have distance. You're like, well, I'm not gonna, you know, everyone's touching each other's hands, connecting in that way, but you still don't want that connection, because that's where you've been hurt, and that's that wounding. Age-old battle mine, weapon out and belly in. Age-old battle, so it's been going on for a while. You learned that from childhood. You know, maybe you've always been isolated. That's usually with like, you know, being the chosen one of your family to undo all of these ancestral curses and stuff like that. You sign up for that. You sign up to be placed, you know, before you come out of your mommy, pushed out of your mama's vagina, or if you had a C-section, whatever, out of the uterus. When I worked in surgery, I would always jokingly call it the Eucharist. So that might be relevant to you if is it Catholic? I don't know. Someone can tell me what's up. That might just be relevant for you, or just like a confirmation. But yeah, so you were like, you know, as you were signing your soul contract, or like, you know, you were agreeing to come into this form, this body, this 3D vessel that you're in, you agreed to this. You agreed to be placed into these shitty people to undo all of this familial trauma, all of this stuff. You were ready. Sorry if my X machine's all crazy. It's making noise. With that tumbling sound, you are ready to release and let go all this baggage, all this blockage, all these heavy weights that have been weighed down from you from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, and everyone in your lineage as well. It's your time. This is you. You signed up, you agreed to this. And that's why it's been so difficult, because you were chosen to do this. And you also chose to do this. You agreed to it. So, you know, you're like, yeah, I'm ready. You are ready this lifetime to undo all this. And by dealing with all that bullshit, the hurt, the pain, all of that, that created another thing you have to undo. Yes, you did a good job by still pushing and having that strong sense of self. That's great. But all of these little woundings and stuff like that, that's been a familial thing. That's been a lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Ancestor after ancestor after ancestor, they've all experienced this in some shape or form. And you're the one that's meant to undo this. This is why this is happening. This is why it's happened. And part of this is you also getting wounded in this lifetime, that new wounding of being isolated because you've always had this strong sense of self, and stepping away from being in this toxic, intertwined, yucky mess. I don't know if anyone watches Metalocalypse, but it's making me think of this episode where they make, like, it's a cartoon where they're a bunch of metalheads and they have a metal band, and one of their music videos is this, like, marriage between these two people, and they soon, like, their bodies become like one, and they become this, like, disgusting, like, gross, they only, like, stay on the couch and they're just, like, eating, shitting, and fucking, like, that's all they do. Like, so you chose to not get entwined and tied up in this, like, gross, like, weird codependent family dynamic because you had that strong sense of self. That's why you're ready this lifetime to undo all this shit. But this new wounding of being the outsider, being isolated, being different, this needed to happen so you don't fall back to any of that bullshit again. You're meant to still have a wonderful, amazing lifetime. But in order to get the manifestations of love, great community, even just, like, jobs and money and stuff like that, whatever you're trying to manifest, it's just a wonderful life, you have to let the shield down. You have to drop that shield down. Yes, you did a good job. You have a strong sense of self. You have strong discernment. You have strong intuition. Use it to put the shield down to the right people and enjoy life. It doesn't always have to be keeping someone at a distance. All aspects of life is connection. You know, yes, there's contrast to life. There's joy to life. But there's also connection. That is what whether you like it or not, humans are a fucking herd animal, okay? We're a herd animal. We need each other. We need connection. We're meant to have that. And you can have great, wonderful, beautiful, vulnerable, safe connections, but you have to let that shield down. Or else it's just going to keep getting, I'm seeing, like, metal just slowly deteriorating and corroding from all the you know, I'm seeing, like, the toxicity that's been thrown at you or whatever. Like, that's like acid being thrown on metal that's not made to withhold that. Like, it's mild steel, carbon steel. Lurch into the fray, weapon out and belly in. Just staying on the outside in the fray, the outside, the outskirts of town, that outskirts of that, you know, circular community where you could, you know, it's almost like these people see you as, oh, this is the missing link. We need this person. Like, you know, you could be the missing link to help these wonderful, amazing people that have good hearts heal something. You could be the healer. You could bring wonder to their life. They think you're amazing, but you choose not to connect the circle. It's like, was it Power Rangers that made that giant, like, they're like, or is it, what's the car one? Shit, I can't remember. To Transformers? Yeah, like, so, like, they all, there's, like, each individual, I think it was Power Rangers, but where, like, you have a part, like, so you're, like, the arm of the big ass robot, and, like, someone else is, like, the other arm, someone's the head. Like, you were the person to complete this badass, like, war machine. But you're choosing to battle and be on the fray. Lurch into the fray, weapon out and belly in. You're still keeping them at a distance. You're not choosing to work with people. Long in tooth and soul, longing for another win. So, with the longing for another win, yes, you still have, you're a great warrior. You're not, like, bad at it. You're great. You're wonderful. But you can use that for something different, especially because you have, you know, long in tooth and soul means you still have vitality. You still have that ability in you, you can use that for something different, not just to defend yourself. You could defend others by getting into community. You could use that for something else. Getting close with somebody and being their defender when they need to do something, have their back. I don't know, I don't think Bonnie and Clyde could be relevant, but having each other's back, somebody could ride shotgun for you, whatever, like having that, like, I got your back, I'm your getaway Clyde, you're my shotgun Bonnie, like, instead of just fighting this battle, defending yourself from injury, from wounding, when you could help others use this. Longing for another win. Yeah, you're longing to keep that because you're so good at it. You are so good at being a warrior, but you can use it for other things. You can shift what you defend, and that it doesn't always have to be yourself to keep yourself safe. It could be other things. Lurch into the fray, weapon out and belly in. Bellow out loud, bold and proud of where I've been. And, so you're also being called to, for one, drop your shield, use your intuition to see people for who they are, open up, put your belly, expose your belly to these people, drop your shield, and yes, you like to relive, and you also like have this pride. I know men love telling stories. That's like a thing. Like, the masculine loves telling stories. That's like, it juices them up. And so, yes, you might be telling yourself these stories of like, oh yeah, like, I've won this battle. I'm speaking metaphorically or maybe literally, but you've won this. You can share your story with these people by getting vulnerable and exposing your heart, and that will help you heal that wounding as well. So it's like, in order to heal this wounding, this age-old battle mine, weapon out and belly in, is to put yourself out there, expose your belly for once, get into a community, person, lover, friend, whatever, actually connecting, becoming that, becoming the, I almost said Decepticon. I don't know. The Power Rangers, when they get all together and, you become the head. So like, it's a complete war machine, a complete, I'm seeing it just like as a light warrior, a light fighter, fighting against the enemy, coming together to end this, control, deception, manipulation, all the things that are happening in this world right now, all the dark things that are getting exposed. You might be that final piece. Maybe you're the head of that, big ass war machine that is meant to fight up against the enemy, but you're still keeping this distance. Maybe you are the most incredible warrior in this group, in this community, but you won't allow that vulnerability. You won't connect with these people. You won't connect hands. And, what you need to do is, expose your belly, expose your heart, and share the dark stuff, your war stories with these people. That could heal them. That's why you're meant to come into community. You're that final piece, the connector, the part to make the whole war machine robot thing work. You're that final piece. And that's just you stepping out, putting your belly out, exposing your heart, and sharing your war stories with these people. That could be healing for yourself and others, to be like, damn, this person is so resilient. They are incredible warriors. They have such strength. And they are inspired to do their own healing, and you heal them just by sharing that story and being in your presence. You have that strong, just by being in near your energy, because I accidentally said energy instead of injury. Being in your energy, they also become stronger. That's how strong and magnetic you are, and how much power you have energetically, that you could juice people up just by being near you, they suddenly get stronger. And I'm not saying like in an energy vampire way where they're stealing your energy. It's like a symbiotic, equal thing. Like they might share more loving, healing energy with you, and you share that more strong warrior part of yourself with them. And so it's getting into this community. Each person has a strength, and you know, back to that freaking, I think it's got to be Power Rangers. You know, getting back into that Power Ranger robot. Oh shit. Power, I can't spell. Yeah, it was that. Okay, I'm at least the mighty Morphin Megazord. Yes. Yes. Yo. Okay, so you're like that. You're the head. You have that. You can stay sharp in these horrible, chaotic situations because you're a warrior, because you've lived it, and you can go back into that, like, I have lived and seen chaos, death, blood, you know, all this gore. I've seen all of this stuff. And, you know, so you're the final missing piece of this community, of this connection. All you have to do is drop your shield and come into connection. Grab hands with these people. Connect with them. Become the mighty Morphin Megazord. Fuck yeah, that's dope as fuck. The ultimate light warrior machine, the war machine to fight against the enemy, against, you know, corruption, you know, and because, like I said earlier, you have this strong sense of self, that's why you need to be the head. You're the final, like, you know, like whatever, like crazy mechanical robot sounds makes while it's like clicking together, you know, and here you come with your little, you know, you drop on the head, and then you can help lead. You're a good leader. You're a good warrior. You've experienced a lot. You are strong. You have a strong sense of self, and you can help others through that. And, you know, just by you being in these other people's energies, that's going to help you soften and become a more dynamic person as well. And, you know, the more dynamic you are as a person, the better warrior you are, the better fighter you are to, yes, you have that strong sense of self and strength and just great resilience, but you also need like to soften that to experience life in all aspects of it. Damn, I didn't even look at any of the cards. I love it. Just look at me instead. Hi, guys. Wonderful. So, I had to call it like I sees it, babes. I love you so much. Keep fighting to be this mighty Morphin Megazord. Oh my god, I'm gonna call this video that. That's so dope. Put yourselves out there. You are you're the missing piece that we all need. We need you. We need you to expose yourself, be vulnerable. Don't expose yourself, like, you know what I mean? Put that thing away. But expose your heart, expose that belly, and come into community. Quit standing on the outside, the fray. You know, quit putting yourself in that and taking responsibility that you, now because of your wounding in the past, you do that. And being like, damn, I do that. Like, shit. Okay, let me drop that shield. And trust that you have strong discernment. Trust that you have strong intuition. You can read who is safe, who isn't. You don't need that shield up for everyone. It's not necessary. All right, I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, babies.